It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. It's the early morning this morning, and man, it's just amazing. Some of the things the Lord is doing, and my mind is just blown sometimes by just coming out and just walking around. And I look behind me. It's like pigs on pasture, eating grass. You know, just enjoying life. You know, because we've been so used to crazy pigs. Like whenever you come up, they're gonna come up and like start acting crazy. But now we're developing this line of pigs where, you know, we're spending more time with them, and then that's crazy, you know. And we're able to move them and keep them more healthy, you know. Move them around on grass, feed them scraps from the table scraps, you know, and let their diet not be primarily on grain, which these guinea hogs, their diet is not meant to be primarily grain. You know, one of the nicknames for these pigs is acorn eater, and so they're meant to, you know, they're meant to forage. You know, that's what they do. That's their specialty. They were able to sustain themselves and survive on a farm in Georgia when everybody thought these pigs were extinct, and they found a herd of them just taking care of themselves. You know, it's amazing. So I'm just drinking my coffee this morning. Hadn't even combed my hair and combed my beard out. Hadn't even washed my face, but just taking a walk early this morning, drinking my coffee, and just checking on things, you know, sometimes because it's summertime is coming, and you know, the mornings aren't as cold, so you're able to kind of come out here, you know, in your pajamas and kind of walk around and assess, you know, the farm. Because I used to drink my coffee sitting in front of the wood stove, you know, to stay warm. But now, you know, it's getting into the season where it kind of feels like fall almost. It's like early spring in Mississippi. And, you know, everything is just starting to bloom and blossom. Not really, but, you know, it's like a false spring because it'll be right back cold probably in a couple of days. But everything, you know, is starting to lean towards springtime. You know, we're starting to, you know, get our gardens ready. Animals are having babies, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. Hopefully these sheep back here will have babies eventually. And yeah, it's just, man, it's amazing things. Super calm and peaceful morning. What's up, Boaz? It's my buddy here, y'all. My buddy, he wants some scratching. I can't reach it, but I got coffee in one hand, got the camera in the other hand. I come in there a little bit later and scratch. Yeah, old Boaz. Yep. Just walking around the farm this morning, y'all. Figured I'd pull the camera out as I was walking around and just let y'all walk with me, you know. Just share this moment with y'all. I was playing around because Tim Jr. went out to look at the pigs and Miss Mary, Mr. Joe, and he said that he made a mistake and hand sanitized. You know, what actually happened is that Tim Jr. is pretty clumsy. You know, he's always tripping over stuff. And so we keep hand sanitizer around the farm and like little pump things. And you have to pump the thing down and hand sanitize. We try to do that when we come out of the animal pens and things like that. Because the boys, you know, they're always putting their hands in their mouths and things like that. And, you know, we want to make sure that our hands are clean throughout the day. And so Tim Jr., he was walking around and he made a mistake and tripped. And when he was trying to like catch himself, he put his hand on the hand sanitizer thing. And the hand sanitizer came out. And he said, I made a mistake and hand sanitized. And all morning we've been saying that, you know, I made a mistake and did this, I made a mistake and did that, like stuff that seems crazy. It's like I made a mistake and fixed me a cup of coffee. You know, I made a mistake and brushed my teeth. And it just started to minister to me. And I kind of played around with it, but it's really serious. But it started to minister to me about how we have the power to decide what we do. Like I back when I was ministering and pastoring in the city, I taught a series on free will, you know, and I talked about how we have the power to determine our will, influence our emotions, and like we have the power to decide something in our mind, to determine our will, and to influence our emotions, you know. And in other words, like things don't just happen in our life. Like things don't just happen. Like we make those things happen. You know, it's like I told Tim Jr. I said, did you decide to walk towards the hand sanitizer? He said, yep. And I said, well, you decided to hand sanitize. It wasn't a mistake, even though you tripped and fell, because you made a decision to walk in that direction. You know, so I'm one. I'm not real big on mistakes. You know, I'm big on, hey, if I messed up, I messed up. Let me figure out a way to like fix or to not do it again. I'm not really gonna call it a mistake, but I'm gonna look at it more, and that's you know, that's healthy to call certain things mistakes. But in order to keep myself focused, I don't call things mistakes. I say I made a decision to do this, or I made a decision to do that, and I messed up. You know, like, and I'm taking full accountability for it, and I think that that's healthy as well. You know, holding yourself accountable, because I don't want to sit around and wait for somebody else to hold me accountable. I want to hold myself accountable, you know, and that's just been healthy for me, because I'm not sure if I'm always have other people around to hold me accountable, and I want to, you know, be a follower of Christ, no matter if people are looking or if they're not looking, you know. So I want to be, you know, if I don't have a group of people around me holding me accountable, I want to hold myself accountable, you know. And this is a powerful thing, you know. My emotions, just going back to that, those three things, I have the power to decide something in my mind, to determine my will, and to influence my emotions. You know, our soul is made up of mind, will, and emotions. And so I can decide something in my mind. That's my free will. You know, I have the power to choose. And everyone who was ever created, everyone who was ever born out of a womb of a woman, has the power to decide something in their mind. So the first step is, what am I going to decide? Am I going to decide to do good, or am I going to decide to do bad, good or evil? Then I have the power to influence my emotions. So now, what am I going to do with my emotions? Am I going to turn on music that glorifies the Lord and uplifts me? Or am I going to turn on music that talks about shooting them up, or, you know, that talks about, you know, ungodly relationships, or music that talks about whatever, you know, like, because music has a direct connection to your emotions. Think about Saul. If you remember in the Bible, Saul had a distressing spirit, like his emotions were distressed. And so he called in David to play the harp, you know, to play a guitar looking thing, you know, a big guitar looking thing. And that music was able to soothe Saul's emotions. It was able to you know, direct his emotions in another way so he wasn't distressed. But yeah, you have the power to decide something in your mind, influence your emotions, and to determine your will. Solo's back there whining back there because he's ready to come out. I'm not ready to take him on his boo-boo journey yet this morning. But then but like I said, that last one, you have the power to decide something you have the power to decide something in your mind, influence your emotions, and determine your will. Determine, like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? And so Tim Jr. said I made a mistake and hand sanitized. And so now I'm saying I made a mistake and fixed my cup of coffee this morning. I made a mistake and decided to take this walk. I made a mistake and put on my glasses. In other words, there are no mistakes. You know, like, I decided to do that thing. I decided in my mind. I let my emotions go in that direction, and I determined my will, and I decided to fix a cup of coffee. It wasn't a mistake, you know, in this context. So it's amazing. Just on the farm this morning, getting ready for the day, and just walking around with a cup of coffee and my thoughts. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God.
I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war till I found peace. I could have swore